Lake Erie is a vital resource for Cleveland and the whole state of Ohio, and that's why it's very important that we make sure we keep it clean and protect our waters. Joining us this morning to talk about the Great Lakes Restoration Conference is Jordan Lubetkin, who's the Communications Director with Healing Our Waters Great Lakes Coalition, along with Christy Meyer, Director of Agriculture and Clean Water Programs, Ohio Environmental Council. There, we're done with the interview. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us. What is this conference about? I mean, we all know that, the Lake Erie, it's a beautiful, great lake, but it's a very important conference. Why?
It's a hugely important conference. I grew up in Lorain County, spent my childhood going to Lake Erie. Really important lake. 30 million people depend on the Great Lakes for drinking water and millions more for the economy that depends on it. But Lake Erie and the other Great Lakes are threatened by sewage contamination, invasive species, and other threats. So this conference is to highlight the threats that are occurring, and more importantly, to inspire our public officials to take action so that we can continue restoring Lake Erie and the other Great Lakes. Yeah,
so it's not just for the Ohios. I mean, so it's going to be this is going to be a big conference.
Region-wide conference, the biggest gathering of Great Lakes advocates every year. Over 600 people will be coming to make a mark and really importantly, we are in a presidential election year, as Ohio well knows, and we're really asking President Obama and Governor Romney to make a commitment to Lake Erie and the other Great Lakes, because we need to continue this momentum so the problems don't get worse and more costly to solve.
You want them to make sure that there is funding for restoration. What exactly do you want them to do?
Well, I think, as Jordan said, we want them to not waver in their commitment in funding Great Lakes restoration. I mean, right here in Cleveland, we've been seeing some really great projects. So, for instance, we're seeing removal of dams to improve water quality, installation of rain barrels and rain gardens to stop polluted rainwater that runs over the landscape and pick up pollution, habitat restoration. Those types of projects, we want them to continue to fund. And as Jordan was saying and alluding to, every day that we wait, those problems get more complex, more difficult, and worse. And it costs taxpayers more to clean up in the long run.
Now, Asian carp, this has been in the news for a while. Very ugly fish, and it's a very damaging fish. Let's talk about it. Why is this so important for us to get rid of this Asian carp?
Yeah, so Asian carp pose a huge threat to the Great Lakes, human health, and also our economy. So they were brought here in the 1960s to clean up fish farm ponds in the south. There was a big flood, and they escaped, and they have been swimming up the Mississippi River and knocking on the doorsteps of the Great Lakes. So they breed like mosquitoes and eat like hogs, so they can eat up to about 40% of their body weight daily in plankton, which our native fish need to survive. Silver carp will jump out of the water, they become easily startled, and they have injured boaters in other states. And in Ohio, which Lake Erie is the most susceptible and vulnerable, a $1 billion fishing industry is on the line, and a $10 billion tourism industry is on the line. So we really need our next president to stop the advancement of Asian carp.
I don't even know how you do that and where you would begin. Those are some startling figures. So we're talking about restoration programs. What's happening here in Cleveland?
Yeah, so as I was saying, so we know, for instance, there's one project in South Euclid that's restoring 5 urban acres of wetlands and 1,500 feet of shoreline, and that will generate $2.4 million in economic revenue, a 2-to-1 return on the investment, but it's also opening up more fishing opportunity and recreational opportunities to Clevelanders. So these types of projects are really working. We know that the Great Lakes Restoration Funds are working, but we need to continue. And so, again, we really need our public officials to not waver in their commitment. And so we're asking for them to continue to fund restoration.
A lot of us, we take advantage of the lake. We just think of it, okay, we're going to go swim, we're going to go fish or ski. It's very important to keep them healthy. So for the viewers out there, we only have about a minute left. What can we do that we have control over?
Great question. The viewers have a lot of power. 30 million people depend on this resource, 11 million in Ohio. We can let our public officials know. Let them know how much we care about the Great Lakes. We depend on them, we enjoy them, we love them. Let them know. Let the candidates know. Make the phone call when they're stomping around in Ohio. Let them know how important Lake Erie is and other Great Lakes.
That's as simple as that. So make sure you keep it healthy, because we will need it for not only us but generations to come. So thank you so much for your continued hard work, and we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just go to healthylakes.org for all the information you need to keep our Great Lakes healthy. All right, well, coming up on Live on Lakeside, when you marry your mate, you are marrying your family. I got a great one. There, I'm still kissing up. But we're going to tell you how to deal with that addition. Plus, Matt Granick is here with some more great ways to save. And we're over in the kitchen with Momocho, cooking up a pickle, corn, and crab guacamole. We'll be right back with more live on Lakeside.
This segment of Live on Lakeside is sponsored by the Northeast Ohio Soil and Water Conservation Districts.